Afternoon, good morning. James Gunn has announced his slate of stuff for the DCU, and it's called DCU Knobs and Jockeys. No, Gods and Monsters. and he is basically, he threw some lovely shade at the predecessors. I did enjoy that, talking about how the previous one was just a fucking mess, basically. And so he's here to make sure that everything is pretty much connected, and whatever isn't connected is called Elsa Worlds. So just like the comic books. So you have the DC universe, and then all the little side projects like Matt Reeves' Batman and all of that, because James Gunn wants to have his version of Batman in there, which quippy jokes and all that crap. Is going to be in the DC universe,
folks.
and Matt Reeves' Batman is going to be, the Elsa Worlds Batman. So he announced the slate. He announced. I will just read them out here in no particular order. Superman Legacy, The Authority, Batman the Brave and the Bold, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Swamp Thing, Creature Commandos, Waller, as in Amanda, Lanterns, Paradise Lost, and Booster Gold. And that's his slate for, I suppose, phase one. Well, before we go into details of everything, I want to gauge what people think of this. Gary, our resident DC fanboy. I mean, I'm a DC Comics fanboy, not a DC Films fanboy, but Gary, our resident fanboy. What are your thoughts on this slate of films and shows?
Overall, I thought, you know what? There's one thing that I can say is, I know that you're not the biggest James Gunn fan, but you know what? He's actually done one thing that is absolutely right, which is got rid of this bullshit competition that seems to happen between the voice department and the film department by saying we're going to combine the two. Because for years, people will go, oh, well, the actor playing Batman isn't as good as Kevin Conroy. Nothing against Kevin Conroy, may rest in peace. Or the actor playing Lex Luthor isn't the same person as, isn't as good as Clancy Brown or whoever. And people will always compare and contrast. And he's now saying, no, they're all going to be played by the same actor, whether it's in live action or film. That's why I'm hoping that they're going to get the perfect actor for both.
So live action and animation.
Yeah. So I mean that it's going to be the same actor for both, and I think that's going to help the DCU feel more lifted. So
yeah, I will concur. That is a good idea. That he doing that, keeping the continuity going.
Yeah. So I do think that's good. As for the projects, I don't want to say disheartened, because the thing is that I do want to give him a chance. I'm not sure about some of the ideas, and I'm sure we're going to go into details with all of them. But there are projects in there that I really am excited to see. Like I'm really interested to see Lanterns, especially because it's Hal Jordan and it's John Stewart, who are two of my favorite Lanterns. I mean, I'm not the biggest Kal Rayner fan. Nice. And I'm not the biggest, Gal Garner fan, just for personal reasons. I think they're good, but they're good on their own. They're not good as a team. Whereas I'm interested to see Hal Jordan and John Stewart. They're two of my favourites, and I'm interested in what you get, because Booster Gold is one of my favourite heroes. Because everyone thinks he's the money hungry sort of capitalist sort of hero, but he's not. He's actually a lot more nuanced than that. And that's the thing that I love about Booster Gold. So I'm also interested to see the Blue Beetle movie that's coming out. I'm interested to see that. The other thing that was a little bit disheartening is that it's in more TV shows than it was movies. But I think that's something that maybe he wants to do. He wants to build the lore more, and I think that's a lot more done more in TV series than it's going to be done in film. Because the thing is that, because I mean, we've got to think about how long it took to establish the MCU. It took at least 10 about 9 or 10 films, solo films, before we got Avengers in 2000. I want to say 2012. 12. Yeah, so it took us.
We didn't get that many films. We got Iron Man, we got Captain America, Thor.
5.
We got like 5.
We got that shitty Hulk film in the middle, and then that was it.
But
Oh, Bossman's frozen.
I think he's frozen in time.
All right, we'll come back to you, Bossman, because we don't want to go off on a tangent. Jose, what are your thoughts on James Gunn's slate?
More shit to keep up with in a way. We got a lot more shit. Like, I actually don't have an issue with them actually resetting the DC universe because my biggest criticism is where the fuck have we been going all this time? Like, I'm kind of wondering, like, what are we building up to? So now they have to reset everything. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm actually looking forward to Superman coming out in 2025. I never thought I'd say that about Superman, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it. But overall, I think it's good that he has an 8 to 10 year plan to figure out what he wants to do. So it remains to be seen if he'll capitalize on it successfully.
Okay. Sam?
Well, I'm skeptical because I like what we saw with Marvel when they were showing their phases with a whole bunch of stuff and some of it never really materialized. Not all of it. I mean, most of it did. But not everything materialized, and the way Warner Brothers operates as well, like they're very slow and methodical when it comes to their shit. Actually, methodical is
methodical is the wrong word.
Yeah.
Slow and chaotic.
They're lumbering. Yeah,
lumbering.
That's what I should have said. Yeah. That's what I should have said. Sorry. But yeah. And so in a way, are they able to pull off everything that James Gunn has announced and maybe then some? I'm not so sure. Like there was no mention of Jason Momoa playing Lobo, for instance, and all of that. And they kind of mentioned like the films that are definitely coming out as okay, here we go. We've got all this stuff coming out, but then eventually we're going to be going on to the new stuff. And so they are kind of dismissing some of the older stuff. And also, is it Zachary Levi? Like he's been fired by Warner Brothers, I believe, because of his anti-vax stance. I'm not sure if you guys know about that.
No, this is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah. Check. You should Google that.
I'm not surprised. He sounds like a complete fucking idiot in the interviews.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is that I'm just skeptical that everything that he's mentioned is it going to come to fruition. I'm not so sure. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to pull off everything. But you know what? Let's just try and be, behind this. Let's just hope it turns out okay. Like the Lantern thing has really piqued my interest. I'll be honest with you. The Lantern thing's piqued my interest the most. I very much like the look of that. Yeah.
And it's finally redemption for Green Lantern too. It took long enough for this to happen.
Well, I mean, it's yet to be seen because I found massively disappointing having.
Or so we hope. I should say. So we hope.
Detective style show, like you got the lanterns and they're on Earth. It's like, oh come on, this should be your space. This should be your science fiction, your space epic. This should be the one that's set on other worlds with the lanterns. I don't want to see them on Earth. Oh, they're investigating some evil shit that ties into DCU. It's like, whatever, man. Like, I don't give a shit.
Ginger will shit on this because no, it doesn't matter that this was.
I'm gonna shit on a few things and not everything because some of the stuff he's picked it's intrigued me. So, for example, The Authority, love that comic. It's from Wildstorm, which brings me hope that they might bring over other characters from our childhood, like Gen 13 and Youngbloods and all this kind of stuff. So it'll be kind of nice to see those make an appearance, especially in animation form. And one of the things that has intrigued me is Creature Commandos. So I think that's like a hodgepodge of different characters. I don't know if there was a comic book of that. If there was, I'd be lying if I said I knew about it. But if that's going to be animation, and I hope that I hope that they long continue their strong animation catalog that DC does have. They're still solid, bit hit and miss of late, but they're starting to pick up again. Lest we forget Harley Quinn season 3. But yeah, that one definitely piqued my interest. The Authority, Creature Commandos, Waller. I don't give a shit about. It's in the Peacemaker universe, so that would be shit. Before I go further on, so who else is interested in Lanterns?
I'm looking forward to it somewhat. I think it could be. I fucking hope this is a redemption of Green Lantern, because the Ryan Reynolds movie, it's so shit. It's just one of those that just I hate it with a passion.
What?
So
It was the best DC film ever.
But yeah, hopefully. Like Ginger said, I don't like that it's on Earth. I wish it would be like on their planet or a different planet or some shit. But it's like, oh, okay, we got to investigate the evil here on Earth. I'm not crazy about that, but I just fucking hope that it's going to be better than what DC did with Green Lantern previously.
I don't think he said he's going to be an Earth. I think
it's their sector.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I think he's going to be like he said he's going to be like a true detective sort of story.
Yeah,
but I think it's going to be like set in like I can't remember what sector Earth is in the Green Lantern Club. I think it's set to 236 or something like that. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But if they do that, I'm happy to watch that. I'll be happy watching like sort of like a intergalactic buddy cop movie. You know, that's something that's intriguing to me. And the thing is that.
Bossman, sorry for interrupting, but I can already see this being the lethal weapon.
Yep. You got
young Howard Jordan. Yeah. John Stewart definitely gonna be getting. I'm gonna get too old for this shit because he's an older Green Lantern.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I can see it already. And Hal Jordan is like the young buck, so to speak. So
yeah, he'll be eager to go, and the old dude will be like, "Slow the fuck down." I could see that already happening.
Hello,
Hi,
Mr.
System 96.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream. Okay, so yes, Zamo,
I'm actually, I have to admit, because I like the Peacemaker and I'm a big fan of Viola Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued about the Amanda Waller thing, because this is like the DC version of Nick Fury, so to speak, but like a darker version of Nick Fury, in the sense that, you know, she's more morally on the dark side of grey than the light side of grey, which is what Nick Fury is. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll see lots of cameos of all these different Suicide Squad members as well.
Same. I'm looking forward to it.
I just don't know how much character potential is with that character. I mean that with the best one in the world, because the thing is, what's intriguing is the thing that she instigates, like, you know, like Suicide Squad, like some plan to get like that sort of like instigate. But I've got her herself. I don't know if there's going to be. I mean, it could be like, I don't know. I'm trying to think something like Gotham, for example. But I just don't see the potential for a story.
Yeah, well, it says here Viola Davis is coming. Viola Davis is coming back as a character. Blah blah. It's going to be some of the Peacemaker team in it as regular on the show. Basically follows up Peacemaker. We have two great creatives working on it. I don't really care. I mean, it's got people like Watchmen and Doom Patrol. So I mean, that is a good team. That's all it says. There's nothing else.
Okay.
All right, so again, what I was talking about, Creature Commandos. So this is an animated series. This is an animated TV series, and the art from the animation, blah, blah, blah. No, what I'm going to do is directly, let's see if there's any details on it. In the image, so it's Rick Flag Senior is going up in other stuff, then a bunch of gibberish written. So we don't know too much about it. But it's animated, and when it comes to animation, you know, I'm your guy for that. That's my area. Anyone else looking forward to that?
Yeah.
No.
No.
All right.
I know nothing about it, so it's going to be enlightening for me.
Okay. Yeah, same here.
I'm hoping it's like Justice League Dark, where it's sort of like, you know, like there's a. I think there was only like one animated film which was called, was it Ticket to Hell or something like that? Where...
Yeah. Which they annoyingly stuck Batman in there just to kind of.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, wasn't that Ticket to Hell that was a Suicide Squad?
Yeah. Where
I know the one you mean, the Justice League Dark one. But
yeah. Where you had Constantine in
Hell,
it.
One of my favorite DC animated films.
Not today, mate. Please. Please, not today. We're talking about
no one
DC.
has a right to
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what this has to do with DC, but
You're gonna like DC, and you're gonna like it right now.
whatever, pal.
Yeah.
I always embrace your chaos, so thanks for that. Okay, so next we have, now this one I'm very interested in, and they better make it sexy as well. Okay, it's Paradise Lost. So this is a Game of Thrones type story about Themyscira / Paradise Island, home of the Amazons, birthplace of Wonder Woman. It involves all the darkness, drama, and political intrigue behind the society of only women. It's an origin story of how this society of women came about. So I think this is going to predate Wonder Woman. The events really take place before Diana's birth. So I'm very interested in that.
Okay.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it. For the love of God,
Well-
don't fucking make it Disney and make it, it's a bunch of chicks. So I don't care. I'm just saying.
Well, they are what you call it, recasting Wonder Woman, but I heard that Gal Gadot is going to be one of the producers for Paradise Lost.
Oh,
enough.
fuck's
Okay.
sake. We don't
Oh
need that.
Lord.
We don't need
Yeah,
that.
so
DC, I left this too, mate. If you want to look into Last Love and who he donated money to, Sunshine. They're far from leftists. I love this guy. Do not ban him. Right. And the final part of the TV stuff is Booster Gold, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Don't fuck it up.
Booster Gold.
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is one area. Okay, I don't want James Gunn's style of humor, but this is one I expect to be a really fucking good comedy, like a solid comedy. And I'm very much looking forward to it, and I'm glad it's a TV series,
Me too.
rather than a film, because you can do so much more, and you can introduce the DCU's Blue Beetle rather than the other Blue Beetle, who's going to be one and done, I believe, unless the film makes bank, in which case they'll be like, oh, it's Elseworlds Blue Beetle. Thoughts, Gary? Booster Gold.
Right, Booster Gold is one of my favorite heroes, so I'm trying to think who can play him. It's going to be like a young, blonde, charismatic guy. I want to see Anthony Starr, but he's too Homelander at this point.
He's too old.
he's too old.
I'm trying to think, but somebody like that, somebody who kind of has that sort of gravitas. But
A young version of Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
No, someone charismatic and funny, not Chris Pratt.
Hey. Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm all for this. I mean, because Dan Jurgens is still around. Why don't you get him? He actually create Booster Goals. Get him to write some of this.
Oh, I'd love that.
Mr. System, just so you know, like Gal Gadot, I mean, she's actually not far from her 40s now, so they do need to recast it. Considering
it's time. It's time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, but regarding Booster Gold, I just want to say that there is a version of Booster Gold where he pretends to be an idiot, and he's actually a really intelligent guy, but he goes back and he's playing the idiot for the sake of playing an idiot, so people don't take him so seriously, so he can actually do what he's supposed to do when he goes back in time, like some of the more serious stuff and all of that. I don't think they'll ever do that version of Booster Gold, but it'll be interesting to see what they do, as long as they don't ham it up too much in the sense that it becomes shockingly unenjoyable because it's so much of a parody that like, what the hell is this? If it's gonna be I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be I don't want it to be the DC version of Deadpool. I don't want it to go to that level.
And you don't want to force it either.
Like that.
Yeah, that's not Booster Gold.
Booster Gold is the kind of person who
I'm just saying. I just don't want it to go to that level, regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're just asking James Gunn to not be James Gunn, because that's exactly how I feel about his stuff. It's like Deadpool times 10, relentlessly frustratingly won't fucking stop with all the stupid jokes. But I'm hoping they don't do that. I hope they give us, I can't remember if it was New 52 Booster Gold or
she's still hot in her 40s. Yeah, I agree.
Booster Gold. They did some really good storylines with him. I have to go back and read them now. It's been a while. Shazam has no big connections to the DC movies. I think. Well, apparently Zach Levy's probably one and done now.
Yeah, one and done, in and out. That's what she said.
Two and done.
Well, it's
Two and
good
done.
because the recent trailer dropped for Shazam, and it looks so bad.
I've not seen
So
that.
bad.
I've not seen the second trailer yet.
Oh, go
I haven't
see
seen it
It's
yet.
awful.
I'm gonna watch it when we're done. Yeah.
Go watch it. It's so bad. Like fucking Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren just hamming it up. Like
Let's not forget, Shazam was shit. Yeah.
Yeah, the first Shazam was shit. The kids were the best
It was
part. But Zach Levy, I hated him as Shazam, and I usually like Zach Levy. I mean, his portrayal of Finn in Tangled is.
You two hate everything. So yeah, this is not unusual for either one of you.
Well, you know, it's good to hate. So those are the TV stuff. We'll move on to the film stuff. I'll get the one that I fucking don't give a shit about out the way, which is Superman Legacy.
Yep. All I can say is that there's a Joe out there, and he will be angry if this movie is shit.
I just want to say this guy,
Angry Joe
Easy
acts
Spread.
like a gatekeeper. On
This guy,
Superman
Easy
story.
Spread, is one of my favorite subscribers. I love this guy. This guy is like the best. We need more. We need more subscribers like him. Every time he's on, I'm a happy man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
He loves it. Yeah.
Gal Gadot is just fucking beautiful beyond belief. Like.
Yeah, but Superman, Superman, I got a feeling, I'm like, based on who they cast, I'm like, this could either go really, really good or really, really bad, and I really hope they don't fuck it up, but I got a feeling that they will. Like,
They will, because James Gunn is writing and directing it. And
they're going to go for. They're going to stick with tradition with Superman and stick with unknown actors. But even though Henry Cavill had done a couple of things prior to Superman, he really was still basically an unknown. Yeah, and so obviously Brandon Routh and Christopher Reeve were as well. So they're going to stick, stick with unknowns, and so whoever it is somebody we want.
That's the one thing that I kind of was surprised about, was that James Gunn's going to be writing Superman, because, like, I mean, the thing is that you got Grant Morrison in house. Why not get?
No, don't ever give anything to Grant. Fuck Grant Morrison. He is a shit writer.
No, he's not.
All-Star
Superman's brilliant. All-Star Superman's brilliant. What are you talking about?
Pish. All right, he's got a couple of good ones, like New X-Men as well.
All-Star Superman.
All-Star Superman as well. I'll give you that. But no, I don't want him writing a fucking film. But I mean, actually, to be fair, I'd rather take him over fucking James Gunn. But, so I'll take that back. But yeah, James Gunn writing and I knew this was going to happen. The minute he became the head of DC, I knew, because he is a big Superman fan. I mean, Brightburn, which was a film that he kind of co-produced or some shit, which is like an evil Superman kid. Which is a shit film, was it's inspired by Superman, and we know James Gunn absolutely loves Superman. So yeah, I'm worried about that, but I don't really care until I see Brainiac in a Superman film. I'm just not interested.
Yeah,
that's it.
If it's Lex Luthor again, I'm not interested either.
What's that?
If it's Lex Luthor again, I'm not interested.
Yeah, exactly. I don't give a shit about fucking Lex Luthor again.
Yeah, because we've been there, done that. Let's move on.
I know, you idiot.
Yeah.
I always say
easy mistake.
I'd rather see
Lex Luthor.
Superman fight Lex Luthor.
He could hit him and no sell it. And, he could. Yeah. And then cut an awful fucking promo against Superman, like, Superman this Saturday at Super Brawl, blah, 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 you're going down. And it's like, what the fuck does that have to do with any of this?
I would have cast him as fucking Mullet O'Hara, mate. That's what I would have called his character. Love it. Okay, so after that we have, again, we talked about The Authority, which is...
The Authority.
I'm looking forward to that. So The Authority, basically...
That's a film. That's not serious.
Yeah, it's a film. So we're talking about the films now. So they're like cynical kind of heroes where, they want to do right by the world, but they think the world is fucked. So they're not above going around killing people and fucking shit up to do what's right by everyone.
They're a bit like The Boys, but if The Boys were...
Yeah, it's like The Boys, but it predates The Boys because they've been around since the 90s, The Authority.
No, they're more like Dark Justice League. You know what I mean? If anything, because like they are willing to get the job done and not and kill people to do it. Whilst the
Yeah,
boys are
they're-
all about making corporate power and money and all of that sort of shit and
Yeah.
fame.
Exactly. I mean, they're
Yeah.
kind of like, I think they were part of the inspiration for the Ultimates universe as well. Don't quote me on that one, but I know, like, you know, Captain America in the Ultimate universe is a lot more darker than what he is regularly. He's a bit more of a cynical old fart at heart kind of thing. So, Blue Beetle, they could salvage it too. The movie gets good reviews. There are no big connections to other. Look, if Blue Beetle makes money, they'll keep making it. I love who they cast to play Blue Beetle. I think that is perfect casting.
Perfect. Yeah. The kid from
Cobra Kai. He's so
perfect
charismatic
casting.
in interviews. He's funny. He's absolutely perfect. And with Cobra Kai ending, it'll be good. I hope the movie does do well, and I hope it is good.
Me too.
But it's the old DC, so I very much doubt it. So then we have Batman the Brave and the Bold. Now this one I'm not looking forward to because this
is a film, not a series. I can't believe it, man.
Yeah.
this is a film, and this
feels like it should be a
goes
series.
to epitomize how much I fucking hate James Gunn.
Here we
Because
go.
trust him to have Damian Wayne as his favorite Robin.
As his favorite Robin.
Everyone else fucking hates a little shit, and James Gunn's like, no, I love him. No, he's great. It's like a murderous little psychopath. Oh yeah, go.
Well,
Annoying.
I don't hate him, but I don't think he's not my favorite. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the
I'm
point
hold-
that James was trying to make is that we can make any character good with good writing. I think that's the point he's trying to get across.
Well, I mean, look, Damian Wayne, you know, he gets turned by Batman anyway, so we know that's going to come, but it's going to have that kind of conflict in there. But I don't know, fucking Batman with a bloody kid fanning about.
he's always got kids, dude. He's been, you know, like Dick Grayson was a kid when he started.
But we don't have
working
him
with
in the films. That's what I like about Batman is that they always leave Robin out, except for like the two shit films, you know. But this one was Damian Wayne, and it was his kid, and he was young, you know, like 8-10 years old. I've never liked Damian Wayne, never like him, except for Injustice when he kills Nightwing. That was quite funny. But yeah,
accidentally kills Nightwing.
Yeah, accidentally kills Nightwing, but still, that was the best contribution he had. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? Brave and the Bold, Jose?
They're gonna somehow fuck up Batman. I just have that feeling. Like Superman and Batman, all this work that they've done all this time, I just have a feeling it's not going to end right. Something just.
Also, sorry, just quickly.
Go ahead.
It's also going to feature members of the extended Bat family.
Oh man! And why is this a film? Why couldn't they spread this shit out?
I think it's because there was the cartoon series. I think that might be why.
This is live action, not animated. Yeah.
It's live action. This is the DCU's Batman.
Fucking
It's not. You know, the Matt Reeves Batman is Elseworlds Batman. They're still going to both exist.
Okay. Here's where I don't know. I'm gonna. Part of me wants to disagree with you, but part of me wants to say I don't want this to go too comic. Because otherwise, we're going to go backwards into Joel Schumacher territory again. And we spent
comic or comedic?
Comedic.
Okay, just double checking.
Yeah.
So I'm using comic as in funny, as in like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Adam West. Right, going backwards. And the thing is, we took quite a lot of steps to go forward. And the thing is that, and that's what the sort of steps. I mean, the thing is that the Brave and Bold, the series was fine for what it was, but it was still a little bit comedic in tone. I mean, he had the bloody music meister in it. But, yeah. I mean, it could work. It depends how they do it.
As long as they don't cram too much shit all into this at one time where it's hard to digest, I'm good with it. But I just have that feeling. I'm like, why do I get the feeling they're going to cram too much shit into Superman and Batman? That's my biggest fear when it comes to these two.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I hope. Sorry, go on, Gary.
I was going to say, I am going to bet a $5 that we might see the music meister. If we do, I will rock out a little bit.
Zam.
I don't know. I mean, I like this is like I've seen the cartoon, and it's fucking awful.
Mm.
It is fucking awful.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not tied to the cartoon. It's just taking the name.
No. But the point is like if it's trying to, resemble elements of that, I'm worried. Because I don't want my Batman to be. I just look. Batman has always been like a moody sod, and that's sort of the elements they need to keep with him. I don't want them to go Adam West. So yeah. Let's just see how it turns out. That's all I can say with that one.
Yeah.
Vance,
Yeah.
I sure hope they do origin stories for obscure characters like Batman and Superman. Yeah, me too. Okay, so next we're
I'm
moving
just
on
fed
to
up with it, yeah.
Supergirl World of Tomorrow. I haven't read this comic book. Tom King wrote this comic book. He's been one of the guys, blah, blah, blah. In our story, we have Superman who was sent to Earth and raised by incredibly loving parents. But Kara was still on Krypton. She was on a piece of Krypton that drifted away from the planet, and she lived there for the first 14 years of her life in a horrible situation where she watched everyone around her die. So she's a much harsher and more fucked up Supergirl than you've been used to thus far. No, that's quite interesting. As long as they get the right.
Oh, look,
Go on.
I think that this time around they're going to try and take another stab at the bullshit Helen Slater version of Supergirl.
No, they're not.
Which was no, I feel. Well, I mean, no, in the sense that it feels similar in the sense of the opening because they were in a part of Krypton at the beginning of that particular film, and obviously they lose that orb in it, and she has to go to Earth to get it and stuff like that. And that's the sort of resemblance I'm feeling initially with her being on a chunk of Krypton in what you mentioned earlier. So it feels like it's going to maybe take another step at that, but this time around they're going to make sure that they have Superman in this as well because Christopher Reeve was supposed to be in Helen Slater's Supergirl, but he never ended up being in that. So they ended up putting Jimmy instead, which was a stupid thing to do. So I think this is going to also try and connect some of the universes as well. If you can have a Supergirl movie with an already established Superman film already out there, then at some point you want to see them two get together on the screen. So I think that might happen. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Supergirl can't be too fucking crazy. She's a hero end of the day, so she can't go too much.
Well, as long as they don't make her a fucking angsty teen and like these one of those fucking annoying like American birds. Oh, woe is me. He's like, shut the fuck up. Gary, thoughts?
I like Supergirl, and I'm hoping that this, because I mean, after that toss of the series, which kind of wasted a lot of talented actors on it, I'm just hoping that this could redeem her to a degree. And I hate saying that because he had actors I liked in it.
Jose?
Yeah, don't fuck it up. Looking forward to it. Just don't ruin it. Cast the right people. Have everything go well. Have the pacing go well. Have it make fucking sense. Try not to draw it out too much. And yeah, I think it might have a chance to succeed, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, and finally, we have the more horror element of the DCU, which is Swamp Thing. Now, Swamp Thing, they brought a series out. It was crap and it got cancelled. So, Swamp Thing could be really good, could be really bad. It depends if they allow it to go R-rated. If they do it PG-13, it won't work. Because Swamp Thing. I like Swamp Thing. I think he's an interesting character in DCU. I don't give two shits about Man Thing. He's always like obscure and fucking out of the way. But Swamp Thing, he's always like doing interesting shit in the comic books. So it will be nice to see them do a very good horror about it, but a good horror, not like him mashing up a couple of local yokels, like going after like big polluters or some shit like that. And it could be a good way, personally, to introduce Poison Ivy in it as well. I'd like to see that some kind of not some kind of weird fucked up relationship between them, but just introduce Poison Ivy as well. Jose.
Yeah, I want this to be as dark as they can take it. It's got to be rated R for it to work. I want to see death. I want to see destruction. I want to see, the weird, creepy shit with Swamp Thing. So I really, really, really am fucking hoping that they let it go as dark as it needs to be. But then again, it's James Gunn's universe now. So time will tell,
Yeah, Gary.
I don't know.
I don't know. Because the cartoon version was good, but every film version I've seen of it has been rather bad. Like I remember watching the Heather Locklear version of it, where her and Swamp Thing get on.
Yeah.
She has flowers growing out of her foot afterwards. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like, well, do you know what, if it's better than that, and that's not a high bar, then fine.
Yeah. Do you remember the Swamp Thing cartoon? That was like the kids.
Yeah, that was
cartoon?
great.
Really, man.
Yeah.
Zamo.
So, well, if they're going to do horror, then what is Swamp Thing the antagonist? Like how do you make it horror?
Well, he's
with
an
Swamp Thing?
anti-hero. So Swamp Thing's whole thing is like fighting against polluters and destroyers of
He's
nature.
Captain Planet, but without the
So
5 rings.
Yeah, he's Captain
but
Planet
he'd be
and Poison
basically
Ivy, but in a more
like a good guy version of Jason Voorhees, maybe. Like he kills people who deserve to be killed.
It's not
Fuck
even necessarily
Cap.
about
Yeah.
killing people. It's about just protecting the land that he inhabits.
Not to go on a tangent, but fuck Captain Planet. That's all that needs to be said, bastard. How dare you be educational? Fuck that guy. I hate him. All right, go on now.
I mean, look, if it's going to be horror, then you're going to have get people getting slaughtered and killed, aren't you? I mean,
Yes.
It's not going to be horror. So yeah, I want him to do that. I want him to, in various ways, killing people, slashing them up, and all of that. Where we follow the murderer around. That'll be interesting take of the horror genre where that happens to be the good guy. So yeah, let's see how that pans out.
Okay, Vance. I hope they introduce Dr. Pamela Lillian Isley as part of the same program as Dr. Alexander Olsen, but not Poison Ivy. Give me stepping stones, not an avalanche. I'll take that. That's
some people
fine.
were saying that.
I'll take it.
Some people were saying that Swamp Thing could be a good way to introduce Poison Ivy as well. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out.
Well, I mean, that's like you say, Dr. Pamela is obviously Poison Ivy before Poison Ivy, so that's fine. You know what I mean? Yeah, just have her in there, sprinkled in, but it's the right place to bring her in because you don't want her just appearing out of nowhere. You got to plant all the little seeds.
Yeah, you don't want it being like how it was in fucking Batman vs Superman, where Wonder Woman shows up and she's like, "Hello," and then it's like, "Oh, I can stay and fight this time." Awesome, with like no fucking explanation as to why you're there. It's like, give me a reason to see Poison Ivy, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, okay. That's James Gunn's first slate. Some interesting things, some disappointing, some I don't really care about. But Gary's popped out again. We're going to end the stream here. I've already got everyone's thoughts on the slate. So just want to thank all my hosts for joining me. I don't know if you guys want to add anything before we pop off.
Anybody got anything to plug before we go?
Just my butt.
Well, later on today, I am actually going to be doing a review of Ginger Greek's favorite show of all time, Quantum Leap.
I'm on the edge of my fucking seat.
p.m. UK time. So yeah, that'll be in a couple of hours.
And can we just give a applause to Ginger Greek and Zam for having put up with 4 episodes of Velma?
Praise us.
Yeah.
Praise us.
Thank you.
We are good. But we gave up at 4 because I couldn't take it anymore.
Apart from some of the fan films I've watched, not often do I end up watching something which isn't a fan film that has wanted me to, made me consider to commit suicide. So and I'm still here to live to tell the tale.
Praise you. Yeah.
Honestly, it's 25 minutes long, but it feels like it's 25 years long.
That's what she said.
Whatever doesn't kill us makes us stronger.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
she's like, "Yep, it's supposed to be 25 minutes long, but it feels 25 years too long."
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
on that
Don't
note,
watch it. It's shit.
and on our survival, we say thank you to everyone that joined us in the comments. Thank you to my co-hosts. And that is all. Let normality resume. Bye.